Welcome back to the channel, everybody. It's been a minute. I got something a little different today. So right now, quick disclaimer. I'm a collector of watches, but not what you might think, okay? I'm the type to scour eBay and Amazon for like 20 quid, 30 quid watches that look cool, yeah? And that's it, cheap and cool. Until one day I said, let me spend a bit more than that. Let me spend £200 to £300 on a watch. Now I'm fully aware that some people spend thousands. I'm not that guy. I'm not rich. This beauty right here is by Versace. Now you might be thinking, oh my gosh, that must cost thousands. Well, no, you'd be wrong.
Welcome to Mike's Second Toys. Welcome to Mike's Second Toys.
Let me just take you around the box, and no, it's not a fake. It's a genuine Versace watch, okay? I fell in love with it when I saw it at the jeweller's. So let me just open this look at that. Oh my gosh. How gorgeous is that? Right now, I'm not focusing on the face. Just take a look at that part of the strap. Look at the Versace logo or emblem right there. Absolutely fantastic. Now, I've had to reduce some of the studio lighting because of the bling factor on this watch. It was glaring back at the camera too much, where you couldn't really pick up some of the finer detail. I will show it to you a lot closer in a moment, but look at this. Look at this beautiful box it comes in. Very nice sort of, I think that's some sort of leather, or at least leatherette cushioned section right there. And then in the back, let's have a look and see what we get. Okay, so we get so this is an international warranty card. Nice. And I would suspect this is some sort of manual, instruction manual. No, this is a warranty booklet of information. Oh yes, and it is an instruction manual, but what sort of instructions would you need for a watch like this? Very basic instructions there, very nice. Okay, let me get this out, because only then can you truly appreciate how beautiful this piece is. Oh my goodness, how stunning is that? Now it's still got the plastic wrapping around the bracelet section, the wrist strap, so I'll get that off. But as if you couldn't see already, this thing has beautiful Swarovski crystals all over it. Gorgeous. And it's still got the plastic there we go, film on the front. Oh my goodness, look at this beauty. And you've got those crystals around there as well. Come on, I'm just going to take this plastic off and I'll be right back. Gorgeous. Now what I find fascinating is the amount of coverings, and look at all of this. All of this came off that watch, and of course that too. So what I'm loving about this, because I'm a fan of them hip-hop watches, but again, because I'm not rich, I tend to go for those, you know, those fake ones that's all blinged out with either cubic zirconia, sometimes not even that, just little bits of glass or some sort of plastic. Anyway, they just look all blinged out. At least with this one, this is a genuine Versace watch, okay? Most of us will say versus Versace. It is part of the Versace family, okay? But the lady herself, Donatella, she says versus Versace, okay? Absolutely stunning. And what I was saying is, this has genuine, not diamonds, but I always mess up on this word. Okay, Swarovski crystals on the face, around that gorgeous bezel, And as I said before, there's like the same crystals around the bracelet side or the watch strap. Absolutely stunning. Oh, so what I'm going to do, I'm not going to set the watch. I'm just going to let the, there we go, let it start working. It's got quartz movement, so it hasn't got that beautiful sweeping smooth motion that you would come to expect from a watch that comes in a beautiful case like this. Now, you're probably thinking, hold a minute, you said you wasn't rich. Well, I'm not rich. Those of you who know where I do all this filming, you know that there's a props department in the studio next door. But yeah, right. So yeah, back to this beautiful piece by Versace, the Versace. Let me give you some details about this before I show you around the watch completely. So it's 46 millimeters, a beautifully gold plated bracelet, and of course the entire watch is gold plated, and not your cheap gold plating, okay, that comes off. And as you can see there, you've got those fabulous crystals going around the strap. Now, it is marketed as a men's watch, but come on, this thing is so beautiful. I suppose it's a man's watch because of the size, but I know plenty of females that would rock this. Now, supposedly this piece is IP rated. Now, it doesn't mean it's waterproof. What it means is that it's splash proof. So if a bit of rain gets on it, it's not the end of the world. But if you submerge this baby in water, kiss it goodbye, I would suggest. Or at least you'd have to go and take it to a specialist to rescue it. What I love about this piece also is that the actual mineral glass over the face, it's so pure and clear. Sometimes when I look at this, I can't even see it. It's as if it doesn't have any glass there. Now that's how you usually tell a half decent watch. Now, another beautiful feature that I love about this Versace watch is that if you look at the lug right here, okay, that's the piece that basically holds on to your strap, or your bracelet, whatever you want to call it, your band, okay? It's a different tone gold to the actual bracelet right there. And even the bracelet itself, that whole theme continues along there, where you've got a nice more shinier gold in that central section, okay, all broken up by those beautiful crystals. And yeah, as you go down the sides, it's a more brushed, it's a more slightly matte finish of gold, and I think it's absolutely stunning, and you'll appreciate it a bit more when I move it around a bit. And right there you've got your crown. And here, look, you can see a lot better what I was talking about regarding the sort of beautiful two-tone gold you've got going on the bracelet section of the watch. And there you've got your Versace branding right there. Absolutely stunning. And just to make it clear, the crystals stop here. So there's 3 rows of crystals on your bracelet. Absolutely gorgeous. Right, let me just take it off this so I can show you. Hopefully you can pick that up. So there, look, you've got your case back, and it's got the beautiful Versace and the Versus. In fact, I've heard Donatella say Versus as well, so it doesn't matter. Your Versus markings right there, the emblem, and I don't know if you can just see it just above that finger I'm shaking there, a little indicator showing where you can prise the case back off. If you need to change the battery, yes, it's battery operated. I would have preferred if it wasn't, but hey, I would have wished or loved for it to have been one of those automatic ones that you just have to move, you know, the movement ones. But yeah, other than that, absolutely gorgeous all the way around. Stunning detail. There's nothing cheap looking to me about this watch. Now, talking about cheap looking and such, in the UK currently, and this is what really surprised me about this beautiful piece, depending on where you shop, okay, you can pick one of these up for around £260. In the States, there are places that sell this for over $600, but there are many places in the States that will do you an offer, so it comes in a lot cheaper than that. But yeah, on average, we're looking at around £260 to £300 in the UK. Absolutely stunning. It's a nice dress-up watch. This wouldn't be my daily go-to watch. This is when I want to act or look a bit more fancier than usual. Let's have a look at the bracelet a bit more. And as you can see, without me having to explain it, you can see where you can release the bracelet by those two buttons either side. Gorgeous. Now, although this beautiful piece comes in its very own luxurious Versace box, I'm not going to keep it in there. Of course, I'll keep the Versace box. You never throw those away. But I'm going to put this baby with my other two watches that I have spent way more than I normally would do. Namely, my gold Tommy Hilfiger watch and my Belova, also completely encrusted with Swarovski, that word, Swarovski crystals, all over the face, around the bezel, going down partially on the straps, a bit like the Versace. Absolutely stunning watch. Those two now have a new flatmate look. And I will say this, out of all the watches that are going to be in this case, hold on, which one do you think cost me the most? Now, I'll say it again, I love collecting watches, but not the high-end expensive ones because I can't afford those, okay? So these literally are the most expensive watches in my collection, apart from there's a diesel one which was gifted to me by a very dear friend of mine. So I didn't buy that one. But other than that, these are my most expensive watches in my collection, okay? They're way more than what I would normally spend, and I'll show you in a moment what sort of watches I would normally spend money on. They are literally only costing me £20, £30, or if you like, $20, $30, $40. Sometimes I might push the boat out and spend about £50 on a watch. But anyway, these, the most expensive one is not the Versace or the Tommy. It's this bad boy right here. I won't tell you how much that cost me exactly. In fact, I will. Why not? I think that was about, at the time, 400 for that one. That's £400, so you can work that out in your own currency. Although some countries charge you a lot more, some countries charge you a lot less. But if I say to you, again, in the States, there's some outlets that will sell this for $600 odd. That's the Versace one. I wonder how much they'll sell that bad boy in the middle right there, because it's got way more of those crystals than this one has. And this one too, gold plated, I believe. Yeah, it is gold plated with your Swarovski crystals. I'm going to go to sleep saying that word. Yeah, my nice Tommy right there. Now, what I'm going to do now is give you a very quick example of the sort of watches I normally buy. The weird and wonderful, the cheap and cheerful, but really unique looking. Most of them anyway. So here's a quick look at those. Let's see how many you can relate to that you may also have somewhere where you live, in your house, whatever. But look at these. And I love a watch with a massive face. This face on this watch, and that one, and that one, and that one, and the one up there, and that one, and that. They're huge. I mean, they're absolutely huge watch faces. Absolutely fantastic. Okay, let me show you more. Trust me, there's plenty more. Look at those bad boys. Look, got a binary one there. Okay, now we're moving along to my, what I call hip-hop watches. The blinged out ones, the supposedly blinged out one, they're all, they're not real. As in, they're real watches, but they're not diamonds or anything like that. Beautiful Superman one there, encrusted with something sparkly, I don't know what. And then we get really cheap, especially on the top row. Just look at that. And I've got a couple in here, and believe it or not, this is one of the first sort of smartwatches you could ever buy. That one there. And technically that's a compass, sort of a steampunk looking watch. And of course, every self-respecting watch lover has to have the classic basic, remember these? And then you got your novelty cheap talking wrist watches. And then you've got this, I love this one. This actually isn't a watch, but it's designed like one. So you wear it on your wrist and it's a Bluetooth speaker. Here's another Bluetooth wrist watch, and I think this one actually is a watch because you've got your massive speaker there so you can play your music or whatever, but there's an LED, a nice red classic retro LED at the top. Very nice. Bit thick though. And then of course I have my everyday watch, which wasn't cheap to be fair because it's a Samsung Gear smartwatch. Beautiful. And of course my world into the more expensive smartwatches started with this Samsung smartwatch. Who remembers these? Looking like a, what do you call it? A blooming smartphone on your wrist. Then I've got this nice cheap and cheerful vinyl looking watch. And a watch that possibly has the biggest face that I've ever owned. This bad boy right there. Look at the size of that beast. The face takes up the entirety almost of the actual tin box it comes in. It's analog and digital. Oh gosh, I was just tidying up, getting ready to shut down the studio, and I found another watch of mine. Again, this was gifted to me. This is an expensive one. It's got a solar panel watch face, but it I can't get this thing to work, so it's just always been in the case. It's a shame because it looks absolutely brand spanking new. If anyone out there knows anything about this brand and this type of watch, let me know. I presume it's expensive. It might be a cheap one, I don't know. Well, no, I know the brand isn't cheap, but this might be one of their cheaper ones. I don't know, I could be wrong.